Say their names. You rest in peace. I'm disgusted by my colleagues that fight so hard for the rights of people that have no business being here in months.
Congressman Wesley Hunt didn't come to score political points. He came with a list of names. As the hearing turned to sanctuary city policies, Hunt stopped debating statistics and started naming Americans who lost their lives to crimes committed by people who were in the country illegally. The room immediately changed. Then he challenged his colleagues with one simple message: stop defending criminals and start defending victims. Watch how this emotional exchange unfolded.
Months, New York released nearly 7,000 aliens subject to ICE detainers. We are talking about crimes that include 29 murders. I've heard 15, I've heard 20. I don't give a damn how many it is.
California, stop championing the criminals and let's start championing the victims.
Mr. Hunt.
Sheridan Gorman, Katie Abraham, Chloe Polzin, Jocelyn Nungary, Rachel Moran, Megan Boss, Elizabeth Medina, Dakara Thompson, and many more. Say their names. Say their names. Sheridan, Katie, Chloe, Lincoln, Jocelyn, Rachel, Megan, Elizabeth, and Dakara. May you rest in peace. These are Americans. These are people's children, their family member, their friends. And every single one of the names that I just mentioned deserved the chance to pursue the American dream. Every last one of them deserved to grow up and build a future and live in a country that is safe, secure, and governed simply by the rule of law. The rule of law that I fought in combat to fight for every single American. Instead, these stories end in tragedy. These tragedies were preventable, and when Democrat leaders refuse to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, Americans bear the deadly consequences. And I'm disgusted by my colleagues that fight so hard for the rights of people that have no business being here in the first place. This should not be a political debate. We are talking about real people, real families, whose lives cannot be replaced ever again. Entering the United States illegally does not create a right to remain here indefinitely. For whatever reason, this is a political football. It's very cut and dry. This is very simple to someone like me. Let's consider this. This has already been stated, but in just 10 months, New York released nearly 7,000 aliens subject to ICE detainers. We are talking about crimes that include 29 murders, 2,500 assaults, 200 burglaries, 300 robberies, and hundreds of sexual assaults. And we are allowing these criminals and these animals back into our midst. Government's first responsibility is to protect our citizens. Anything less than that is a derelict of duty and a failure of leadership. And in this case, the intentional failure of leadership done by political purposes. Our chairman was speaking earlier during his opening remarks talking about 10 million people that have entered this country illegally that we know of. I've heard 15, I've heard 20. I don't give a damn how many it is. It's one too many. And especially people that come here and rape and maim our babies. This is what I get up and do this job every single day because I have babies too, and I see these pictures that are in front of me, and I weep for you because I see my babies in these photos, and it could have been one of mine as well. And if we don't do our jobs up here on Capitol Hill, we're gonna have more pictures, we're gonna have more murders, and we're gonna have more rapes. This is the bottom line. This is not a partisan issue. Ms. Gorman, Mr. Abraham, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to offer you my deepest condolences. Thank you so much for being here. And ma'am, I know this has to be very difficult, but you're doing it in the name of your baby. And she is looking down on you, and she is very, very proud of you for doing this, I can assure you. Sheriff, thank you very much for being here as well. Last year, sir, you did a Fox News interview in which you mentioned that under the direction of Gavin Newsom, you received a threatening letter from the Attorney General of California because of your pledge to work with law enforcement. Is this true, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
With my remaining time, sir, what would be your message to Governor Gavin Newsom and Democrat leaders across this country who persist with these homicidal sanctuary policies? And Sheriff, do you think that it is normal for the governor and attorney general of a state to tell a member of law enforcement to not cooperate with law enforcement?
No, I do not. It puts me in a very hard position, but once again, I will continue to do what I believe is right. And my message is really clear. In California, stop championing the criminals and let's start championing the victims, sir.
Amen. We're killing each other from within. That is how this country comes to an end, not from anybody from the outside, but because we allow 10 million people enter our country illegally, and then we make excuses for them after they murder our babies. That's insanity. And no other country operates like that. Neither should we. I yield back the remaining of my time, and thank you all so much, and I offer you my deepest condolences. Thank you all.
Gentleman's time has expired. Mr.
This hearing took a dramatic turn the moment Congressman Wesley Hunt shifted the focus away from politics and toward the victims. Rather than arguing over immigration statistics, Hunt began reading the names of Americans who were killed in cases involving people who were in the country illegally. He reminded the committee that behind every policy debate are real families who have lost sons, daughters, parents, and friends. From there, Hunt argued that the federal government's first responsibility is protecting American citizens. He criticized sanctuary policies, pointing to statistics he cited about ICE detainers in New York and saying that when local governments refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities, dangerous criminals can remain on the streets. His argument was straightforward. Regardless of party, public safety should come first. Then came one of the most emotional moments of the hearing. Hunt spoke directly to the families sitting in the room, offering his condolences and telling them their loved ones deserve the chance to live out the American dream. He said these tragedies were preventable and questioned why, in his view, some lawmakers seemed more focused on defending those who entered the country illegally than on supporting victims' families. The discussion then turned to California Sheriff Chad Bianco, who described the challenges he said he faced while cooperating with federal immigration enforcement despite opposition from state leadership. Hunt asked what message he had for California leaders. The sheriff's answer was brief but direct. Stop championing criminals and start championing victims. By the end of the exchange, the hearing had become much bigger than an argument over immigration policy. It became a debate about enforcement, accountability, and where government should place its priorities. Supporters of Hunt saw a powerful reminder that immigration policy has real human consequences. Critics continue to argue over the broader effectiveness and fairness of sanctuary policies, but one thing was undeniable. Hunt made sure the victims remained at the center of the conversation. What do you think? Should sanctuary jurisdictions be required to cooperate with federal immigration authorities, or should states and cities decide for themselves? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy in-depth breakdowns of the biggest moments from congressional hearings, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Congress Parrot, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next major showdown from Washington.